I'm Mickey Colton.
And I'm Chad Dillon.
And this is the
Utica Rallycross Series.
Punchline for your 5th event here at the Budva Speedway in Montenegro.
Hell yeah.
Now, we've come to this track for the past 2 years, though we've seen a revamp this year of the circuit. It's a little bit different this year, but still has a lot of the same concepts to it.
Yep, still really short track, really a lot of turns that really can mess you up. I mean, you have the one loop here they've added. I think that's the same as the past couple years. But this beginning jump is what's going to trip up a lot of drivers.
Yeah, they've changed it a lot near the beginning of the course, and it is getting close to the mid-season here. We're at race 5 out of 10, so not a lot of time to make it up. So drivers like Carson Bachtel and Matt Doyle, drivers that are a little lower in points, they need to really hustle here today.
Exactly. It's going to be a really tough event today. But starting out today is Dylan Thoreau and Mason Powers, the two rookies, up to bat first. That's not going to be a good scenario for those two.
Yeah, but they are strong competitors. They do adapt quickly. They could have a chance today. You got to look at some other drivers in here. Tyler Benoit is going to be starting out early too, but he is a very skilled race car driver at this circuit.
Exactly. And coming off I think it was a win.
Yeah, he won at Paparone last week.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Coming off a win last week, he looks like he might be a good contender today.
Watch out for drivers like Chris Aurelio. He is starting later in the grid today. He may have a good shot. Also, Matt Evans, the Black Mamba, has been good at these types of courses as well.
Also, you have to watch out for the Seth Cole, the stuntman, out in last. You know,
he's either starting immediately near the front or right at the tail end of the field.
And you know what? It doesn't matter for him because he's always got something for us to show us. But with that one win underneath his belt, he's really wants to show something good. But
the first car on track is Dylan Thoreau in the number 5 machine, and we're inside this structure here.
Yes.
But here is that jump that they're going to have to go over.
Just a really good clearance there. A lot of drivers I've seen barely make it in like the practice runs when they were trying to test this track out. And not a bad turn there, hits the wall there, but coming into the dirt.
So they have to make an outer loop and then turn down this road here. Now this is where it gets confusing because there's several different roads here. One of them's an access road for safety vehicles. And then you end up at the line. So at 30-87, these runs are going to fly past, but
next up is our man Mason Powers. He's got the power! He got the power! Oh!
So Mason Powers, a great season thus far, and not going to get enough speed on the jump. And now he's got to figure out a way to get around that barrier. He's going to go through the finish line here and continue on his merry way, but that's going to hurt his time.
Luckily, there is a good route there for anyone to come back off of. You know, I mean, if you hit that wall there, there's a good chance for you to still be able to finish the race. Not DNF, but it's not going to be a pretty time.
But see, the issue with him is that because he went up first, he was the driver that discovered that you can do that. So now everyone else that does that is going to do that much quicker than him,
exactly. If they miss it, they're just going to automatically turn to the left there, but a 39.76.
Yikes. 9 seconds slower than Dylan Thoreau is. Now, Tyler Benoit in the 3 machines on track. This guy is near unstoppable, but he just he's not gotten that championship yet.
Exactly. He just hit the wall there. He's not going to make the jump. But look at he turns to the left, really watching the tape, watching the last driver, really ready to. He's still going to be able to get a decent time out of this.
Yeah, he's going to beat Mason Powers at the moment. He's tracking ahead of him right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he could mess up later on, but Tyler Benoit, a skilled professional, he's going to use the knowledge he gained from Mason Powers, and you know what? That was a professional move. He didn't go full hog. He knew he wasn't going to make it. He didn't want to wreck his car. A 34.47. I'm not sure how that'll stack up considering how fast Dylan Thoreau was, but not going to be last place for Benoit.
Next up is William Duncan from Team Thunder. Ready up to bat here. Clears the jump there. A lot cleaner than Dylan Thoreau did. A lot more clear distance, but clips the sidewall there, coming in the loop.
Yeah, and William Duncan has been very inconsistent this year. Did really well in Elkhorn, but struggled the next week. So this is a chance for him to try and get a good run.
Yeah, you know, here in this dirt section here is actually a lot trickier than you think it is. But a 31.28, not a bad run for William Duncan, put him in second place on the charts.
Next up is Joseph Ernesto for Top Notch Racing in the number 4 machine. Joseph Ernesto, a former winner in this series. This year's not been the best for him, but he is going to make the jump.
He did cut that opening turn beautifully. You couldn't have cut that any smoother than how he did. Now, the loop is looking out pretty good for him. As long as he doesn't hit any walls, he might be able to beat Dylan Thoreau.
See, there's a lot of precision at this racetrack. That's what they're aiming for here, especially in this part here, because the dirt is very unpredictable.
Yeah,
so you have to hit that perfect.
That might have threw his time out a little bit, but a 30.35.
That's going to be the top time so far. So Ernesto on top of the board.
Now next up is Matt Doyle from Dual Stinger Racing. Now he is looking to try and get his points higher because it has been a rough start for Matt Doyle. He knows he's not going to win the championship at this point. It's kind of impossible.
Well, no, it is still possible for Matt Doyle, but he's going to have an amazing second half.
Exactly, and you know we've seen it happen before. We've seen competitors come from the depths of nowhere and come into the top 5 for the championship.
Chris Aurelio in
exactly.
season 1.
Yeah, and he ended up winning the championship. So hopefully Matt Doyle, with a decent run so far today, can come back.
He's going to get 3rd place overall, and that's going to be a solid effort for him, considering his struggles this year. Next up is the Flying Dutchman, Robert Piet, in the number 14 machine. Now, Robert Piet not had the best season so far. He's going to hit the wall. They're not going to get that speed, so he's going to take the Tyler Benoit route.
Exactly. It's a lot smoother to be able to just be like, if you know you're not going to make it or you hit that wall, you know, you just got to lean for it. You know, you just be like, well, I don't want to hit the car. I don't want to ram the front of it. You know, it's a smarter run.
See, this is the difference between this place and places like Elkhorn Pike. This place, you can't make a mistake, or else you're going to lose a lot of time. Elkhorn Pike, it's all right if you make a couple mistakes, because there's a lot of places to gain time. A 33.47, that's top 5, but I don't think it'll be there for long.
Faster than Ty Benoit in the sideway, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Next up is Michael Aurelio in the 18 machine, a very solid race car driver. What can he do today?
Hopefully he can do better than Chris Aurelio. You know, these guys have always been feuding, and Michael Aurelio is always underneath him just a little bit. But Michael Aurelio hoping to show some stuff today, hits the sidewall, but hopefully he can make up for it in the dirt section.
Yep, Aurelio.
Oh!
This is kind of an ugly run for the 18 machine. Not the thing he was hoping for.
Exactly.
He's going to get
32.85.
Still beats Robert Piet, though. See, that just shows you how important that first jump is.
Another person, Adam Dunlap, that's really trying to climb back into the points, especially the former champion. Really not doing so far in the good first half, but hopefully he can pick it up a notch.
Part of those new Team Blues, as he is running with Team Spite this year. So
it looks like that the team might not even stay together. It looks like there might be something going on in the halfway point of the season, but we'll find out shortly.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to get some, input on what's going on there. But Dunlap is going to cross the line with a 29.87. That's going to be top time. That could save the team.
That could. Next up is Nick Pericles from Red Viper Racing. Hopefully he can show his stuff after having 1 win this season, really motivating him, and he knows he can't make that jump, so he cuts over to the left side.
Yeah, but he's going to run a little wide there. I'm not sure how that's going to affect his time. This is not going to be a top 5 effort, and Pericles knows it, but he's hoping that he can just finish as strongly as physically possible.
Exactly.
But Pericles, I'm impressed with him. He started off as kind of like the secondary driver on his own race team.
Yeah.
And now he's one of the top drivers.
Yeah, he's really been consistent.
And Skylar Dixon kind of took his bad luck.
35.09, not a good time for Nick Pericles.
Next up is Alex, the Lightning Hawkins, in the number 19 machine, Barney's Revenge.
Yes. Alex Hawkins actually having a good showing last week. Really did a good job. Hopefully he'll be able to pick up it in points. He didn't have a good start, as most rookies would be. But really started to show some consistency, and I think we can see a lot of this driver.
Hawkins is a short track ace. This is a little different than the short tracks he's raced on, but
yeah.
And no, he overdrives it.
But he'd be able to flip it back over, but he has to still get the checkpoint.
See, that grass just sucks him right in there. He had a hard time getting traction. But he will be able to continue. I don't see him going out yet.
This will be the slowest time of the day so far, but it's going to be a rough one to watch. But as long as he finishes his own DNFs, it's still better than last.
Yeah, 42.20.
Yeah.
So, not going to be enough for him. Extra 2 there than, we would like.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah.
Next up is the Black Mamba, Matt Evans. And, it looks like the Black Mamba is going to falter at the start there. Man, these top drivers having some issue.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to be able to be consistent 3 years in a row. I mean, sometimes you get a rough year and you just got to work through it, and hopefully your team is motivated enough to go on to the next season.
Yeah, so Evans having some issue here.
A lot of speed, but a little too much coming off the dirt. It's going to slow him down just a tad. It's going to be just a little bit slower than Tyler Benoit with a 34.86.
So they're going to be stuck together there. Next up is Stephen Carter in the number 12 machine for Allen Racing. A very solid race car driver, but he just really hasn't performed this year.
Yes, but he is still the no man of DNFs. Yes, he is still no man that has ever flipped his car before. And hopefully I didn't jinx him today, but it's kind of hard to flip yourself at Budva.
Yeah, we haven't seen many wrecks here. I think the only one was Chris Aurelio in Season 1.
Exactly. Now, a very good run for Stephen Carter. Hasn't really done anything wrong.
This is blazing fast. What can he do with it? A
29.86.
Wow! 100th over Adam Dunlap, just to show you, just going through a turn a slightly different way can affect your run greatly.
Exactly. Just you were saying he's had a slow start, but really that's going to pick him up a notch as far as points.
Next up is Nathan Minazuki in the 20, the Englishman. One in Blackpool, which even though we said it was his home track, which it technically is the only English track on the schedule, but he's like, I live nowhere near Blackpool.
Yeah, but you know what? it's still the roots, you know. It's where you
screw
came
you.
from.
You want to race.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nathan Minazuki at 31.04. That's going to be a top 5 effort for that team.
Yeah, it is. Now, next up is Alex DeMarco from Performance Racing. Hopefully, they can have a good performance today.
He needs a good performance because rumors are circulating that Performance Racing is going to replace him. And I think that may have sealed the deal. And this has been a rough year for Alex DeMarco, who's such a good road racer, but has faltered in Rallycross.
There is some rumors that a lot of these drivers might drop halfway after this race, and I've seen a lot of potential in the development series. Hopefully, a lot of those guys can rise up and really have a good half of the season if they come in.
And, oh my God, this is absolutely atrocious for Alex DeMarco.
They must have already
He finished last at Blackpool. He didn't do well last week. He didn't do well the weeks before that. This is going to be a pitiful effort for the one.
Oh.
A 44.59. He needs a driver to wreck out of this race if he wants to do well. As next up is Tyler Chico Colessa in the number 10 machine.
And this man has been driving very well in the past couple races. I mean, he started out a little slow, but now the consistency is gaining. And to see if he could take the top time from Stephen Carter, he's got a lot of momentum underneath his belt.
Look at this turn.
Yeah.
Flawless.
He did not even have to grip at all. He was just gliding himself around that loop. Coming to the dirt section here, perfect. A little bit over to the top, but he be able to get this turn here. Can he take the top time from Stephen Carter? He does!
A 29.84. Look at that.
Yeah.
2 100s ahead of Stephen Carter. It's so close up near the front as Chris Aurelio is hoping to put his name up in that bunch.
Exactly. Chris Aurelio shaking in his boots here, but a really good start here. Hits the top, hits the jump.
This could be the turnaround point for Aurelio.
But you can't do a better turn than what Tyler Colessa did.
He braked a little too much there. I don't see this being a top time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
playing a little bit safe there.
Oh, hits the wall. But you know what? He did hit the first jump. Can he make it?
No!
Oh!
A little too quick there. He was safe in the part where he should have went all out, and he went all out in the part where he should have done it safe.
Yeah, exactly.
A costly mistake for Chris Aurelio.
But a good head and his shoulders. He's still going to push through to the end of this race. Here he goes, coming down to the max stretch here, but a 38.91. Not going to cut it.
Yeah, not going to be good enough for him. Next up is Colin Bartel for 12th Man Racing in the number 7 machine. So I wonder if Bartel wasn't able to get that 12 car, because that would have been a match made in heaven.
Oh! Not a good start for Colin Bartel. He really thought he could make it. He was cutting it close there. I mean, sometimes you can't tell. I mean, it is a really thread in the needle kind of jump.
Yeah, if he was just like maybe a 1 or 2 miles per hour faster, he could have actually maybe have ledged himself on that wall.
Exactly, and
not going to get it down there. But Bartel, just a very inconsistent driver, unfortunately.
We say it every time, every race, but you know what? He still pushes through, and he's still a fun driver to watch every week.
Yep, he's going to finish with a 37.68, so not the best for him. Now it's time for Carson Bachtel, the crazy Canuck for Maple Leaf Motorsports, and Carson Bachtel has been quite a season.
And almost, wow, hit the pylon there, but was able to turn left and make his maneuver there. But
he managed to get out of the starting gate.
Yes.
This time.
Making a wide turn here, a little wobbly, coming over to the dirt section here. Hopefully he can pick it up. He does not fly off the side like most others have done so far today.
It's like he can't control this race car.
Yeah.
All of his appearances have been really sketchy, and it's a 36.35. Not his worst, but not going to be good for him. And now we have our last car on track for the day. It's the stuntman of Seth Cole.
The stuntman!
And I don't think the stuntman's going to make that jump.
No, and he knows it. You know, sometimes the stuntman just has to take a break. You know, he can't do everything crazy all the time.
He tried jumping all the buses. If there were buses there, he would have crashed into them. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Now Seth Cole going through the last section of the course. Let's see what he can do. Not going to take the top spot, so I think Chico Colessa is going to be safe at number 1.
First win underneath his belt. So far, we've had 2 Tylers that are going to win this year.
Yep, as a 34.90, that's going to do it.
Yeah.
Tyler Colessa is number 1 here today, as Stephen Carter is going to be a close second place. Adam Dunlap 3rd, Joseph Ernesto in 4th, and Dylan Thoreau with a solid finish in 5th.
A very tight top 5 as we see here from today, followed by Nathan Minazuki, Matt Doyle, William Duncan, Michael Aurelio, and Robert Piet. A lot of these guys got some good finishes that they really needed to boost themselves.
Yeah, Robert Piet, a top 10 finish for him.
Yeah.
That's good for him. And Matt Doyle, who's been struggling all season long. Now let's take a look at the next 10. Tyler Benoit and Matt Evans going to just miss the top 10. Seth Cole is going to finish in 13th place. Nick Pericles, not a good run for him, 14th. And Carson Bachtel ties for his career best at 15th.
Yeah, exactly. And our bottom 5 here today, Colin Bartel, Chris Aurelio, Mason Powers. Not a good jump for him. Went from really doing good to really, really bad. Then we have Alex Hawkins and Alex DeMarco. But here's our point standings Tyler Kolesa taking the top spot, taking the crown.
Exactly. I mean, Tyler Kolesa is going to steal first place away from all these drivers I've been battling for. Dylan Thoreau up to second
rookie.
place.
Yeah.
Nick Pericles, Tyler Benoit, and Seth Cole, your top 5. A lot of them winners.
I have to point out Nathan Minazuki, Adam Dunlap. Adam Dunlap finally in the top 10, really inching his way up there slowly. He's still in the points game, followed by Mason Powers and...
the rest, as Michael Aurelio's in 11th place, followed by Matt Evans, Joseph Ernesto, Robert Piet, and Colin Bartel. And then you have the bottom of the points.
Yeah, it's Alex Hawkins, Chris Aurelio, which is a surprise, Matt Doyle, Alex DeMarco, and Carson Bachtel.
They're battling for that last place spot.
Yes,
I wonder
they are.
who's going to get it. I think it's going to be DeMarco, because I'm not sure if he's going to be here next week.
I would like to point something out about Budva is that no one DNF'd.
Yeah, no DNFs in this
I think that's
event.
the first that's ever happened.
No, we've had no DNF events before.
Have we?
And I think we've had no DNF event last year at Budva, so that's to show you that these drivers keep improving as time goes along.
Yeah, and also this track isn't meant to flip you. This track is meant to really test your skill, basically, your just overall driving ability.
Well, we're heading to Dubai next for the second half of the schedule.
Ooh,
It's going to be classy living over there,
I
so
know.
we will see you next time. It should be a great event.
See you in the second half of the season, everybody.
So long.
Peace.